Yeah, it's good. I think it's why we're in the Scottish Cup, isn't it? I think, especially for Queen's Park. I think to get a draw against your local team, I think training grounds are a couple of miles away from Ibrox. So yeah, I think the excitement's there. There was a bit of buzz in training this week, and it's something as a player you have to look forward to.
What needs to go right for you guys to come away with it?
Most things really. I think it's just as being obviously honest. I think we need to be really good without the ball. And then we've got to be brave in possession. I think it's a game where everyone expects Rangers to win, so we're underdogs, but we've got to go and try and play our own game. I don't think we can change too much on what we're trying to do ourselves here. I think when you do that, you end up it's backs to the wall. So I think for me, it's trying to do everything that we are trying to implement at the club. Things have got to go right. We've got some good refereeing decisions. Hopefully this week might go our way a little bit, and you need that little bit of luck as well. So yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to it. It's a great game. I think when you saw the draw, it was a bit of excitement around the place. Obviously Rangers or Celtic, we're doing a huge tie, the biggest tie for this club, and we've managed to get one of them.
You've managed to put Rangers out of the Scottish Cup before with a team. What do you recall of that night?
Yeah, I know. I do remember that night quite well. To be fair, that was obviously on the way to. At one point, actually, I thought we actually played really well that night, and I think James Tavernier actually runs diagonally across the pitch and scores a header at the back post on the opposite side where they should be standing. And I thought that was it, kind of thing. But we rallied really well and created obviously a wee bit of history. There was no crowd there though at that point, but I think it's good memories for me. Want to try and create new memories for Queen's Park. We managed to do that with certain cup competitions this year, and we're in the last 16 against one of the biggest clubs in Scotland, so it's pretty good.
Was that the biggest cup shot you've been involved in?
Probably been a cup shot the other way down in Leicester, but I think it's one of those. I think it's always a game. It's a 90-minute game. I think we have to go and take that challenge. We've got to knock down some barriers on the way. We've got to make sure we perform at level, but I think we've got to give ourselves the opportunity to try and win the tie. There's no point in going there just to make up the numbers, so to speak. I think we've got to go and try and apply ourselves in the correct way. If we can get something out of the game, great. But we'll definitely have a go and see if we can try and do something.
What do you say to your players to give them belief, or try and give them belief that they can go and produce a shot?
I think this week we've been working on it. I think we've been working all week on it. It doesn't always come down to a Sunday or this Sunday or a Saturday. I think it's always planning how we can try and solve things, how we can sort things and give them belief that they can do it. We've actually been playing well lately, but the results haven't been going our way in some decisions with referees. So I think it's just trying to create that sort of mindset that there is opportunities there to hurt Rangers, but there are also opportunities to try and stifle them as well.
Callum, obviously you won those 2 cups with St Johnstone. How much do you lean into that experience? What can it give you? What can you give the team?
I think the biggest one there is the belief that it's a game. It's a game of football. It's 90 minutes. I think we have to have things go our way tomorrow because Rangers obviously per player are probably obviously a better standard, but as a group and as a unit we need to do things right. I think if you look at my St Johnstone team, we did that brilliantly in that season. It wasn't just 1 or 2 players that got us the results, it was everybody. It was the subs, it was everybody involved. So I think that's the big thing that I can use with the players to say, listen, we've got so far, can we go a little bit further? Can we again knock down another barrier, get into the last 8, and hopefully we can put a good account of ourselves.
What have you made of Rangers recently, and how do you expect them to approach this game? Do you expect to be full strength, or?
Yeah, I expect to be full strength, to be honest with you. I think I think I've watched a lot of their games, especially the European games have been absolutely fantastic to watch. I think they're brilliant on transition when they win the ball back. They can really hurt teams quickly, so we need to be prepared for that. They've got some really good quality players who are performing at a good level just now. So yeah, they've got boys back from injury, so they've got a good squad. There's no, you can't hide that fact. But I think for us, it's just to make sure we're prepared right, and hopefully we can get a good structure to our team.
That's the thing, Callum, because people look at this and say, oh, it's a free hit for Queen's Park. You go and there's no pressure on you at all. But do you see it a bit differently?
I always see it a bit differently than that. I think you always put pressure on yourself in the group. I think for us, especially our staff, we think we hate losing games of football, hate losing games of anything. So I think you want to go and try and do your best. If we can come away with the game by performing at our level that we can, and we get beat, you are a little bit happier. but hopefully we can go and do that, and then you can just see the outcome. So yeah, we put pressure on ourselves to perform.
You obviously need everything to go in your favour. You maybe need a wee bit of luck along the way as well, but how important is it to go into the game just with a level of conviction?
I think it is. I think it's a cup game. It's probably different from league football when I've played there in the past. I think the cup games are one-off, and again, we've got a lot of fit young players in the team who can run. We need to make sure they do that in the right areas. So again, can they do that for 90 minutes? Can I use my substitutes to impact the game as well and changes? Again, when you go to Ibrox, Parkhead, you need to keep them quiet for the first 25 minutes, and that'll be really key for me this Sunday. How do we start the game? And if the longer the game goes on, hopefully we can frustrate them a little bit, and then we can ask questions of them later.
Rangers obviously in a sequence of results just now where everything's quite calm. There's been a sense of unity again after a fairly turbulent couple of months of the campaign, but does it work in your favour if you can just make it as awkward and as frustrating as possible for them that the fans start to get in their back a wee bit?
I think so. That's always the case against the bigger teams. When you're underdog, I think you have to do that. You have to take your chances. I think for me the biggest thing with the players as well is, I guess, you've got to be brave on the ball. You've got to be brave and have the courage to try and do the right thing. Just because you're there, don't just differ from what you normally do. So that's the message we give them. Rangers have been on a good run of form. The European games have been great as well, good to watch. So again, it's just trying to get it right on the pitch.
One or two new faces in the door. Callum, how have they settled in, and what do you feel they can bring to your squad going forward? Yeah,
going forward, really pleased. Obviously, we've got a few in. I think a couple of them are actually cup tied. I think Adam and Ven are not available. And then Adam Montgomery, he's probably getting up to speed as well. And then we've got the two lads down south. So good additions. We have lost a few. So we are a young, small squad, and I think for me it's important that experience. The players who are a little bit more experienced can help them through the game. There'll be times when it'll be tough on Sunday, but we need to use like Welshie and Louis and these kind of guys to help the young ones through it. And it's a learning experience for them, and it can only make them better.
And just on Adam Montgomery, obviously a bit of uncertainty maybe around his long-term future at Celtic, but how important do you feel this loan spell could be for him? I know he's obviously had a couple, but time to really kind of kick on from there. Yeah,
I had Adam at St Johnstone. He was fantastic towards the end of his time there. I think with Adam obviously he's missed a chunk with injury, and I think that's the only reason we're probably getting him, because if it wasn't he'd probably be at a higher level. So I think it's really important for Adam. He gets minutes into his leg, he plays. He's a top quality player. And hopefully Queen's Park can see that and we can see that, and it'll benefit both parties, and that's the reason we brought him in. So again, it's just about getting him minutes on the pitch, and the more we do that, the better he'll be.
You mentioned referees a couple of times there, Callum. I was wondering if you think you've had the rub of the green recently.
I think you know the answer to that one. I think it's one of those. I think it's a new challenge again. We've got VAR. The lads are playing with VAR, a lot of them playing with VAR for the first time. So it's slightly different. So we had a wee kind of meeting this week on it that we arranged just to make sure they're prepared for that type of thing, delays and certain things in the game, which is you might get away with at levels. But that's just me having a wee moan.
So it was mentioned last night, Celtic Park, when you go to these places, you need the referee to be strong, not to be swayed by noise or whatnot. I suppose you'd be hoping for that too. Yeah, I'm just hoping for just consistent. I always just say consistency is probably a bit most diplomatic answer to that one. Just consistency in performance. Just like my team, I want consistency as well. So it's the same thing. So yeah, it's just, I think again, good referees don't get swayed by that pressure. And, that's just one of those things. But yeah, you get 40, 50,000 shouting at you. It's quite difficult.